When it comes to anime, anime is broken up into three essential parts as to how enjoyable a series can be. In fact, any form of media out there is broken up into these three parts as to how enjoyable it can be for the reader or the viewer. We have the story, the characters, and the art. Now, if you can find something that has a combination of all of these, you know, a good story, good characters, and a good animation to top it all off, I would say that, you know, you have found a gem of a series. Now, when it comes to, you know, the criteria that I mentioned earlier, the characters, the story, and the art, what if you don't exactly need all of that to have something great? Really, all what it boils down to is having at least two of the criteria. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, we will be tackling the subject, in anime at least, what is more important, the story, the characters, or the art? This topic was requested by a fellow subscriber on my channel known as Miss Overthinker. You are awesome. Thank you, as always, for suggesting your thoughts in the comment section down below. And of course, guys, you know, if you want to see any more other discussions, let me know your future other topics in the comment section down below, and I will try my very best to make a video on that. So without further ado, let's begin with this discussion. What is more important, the story, the characters, or the art? Now, when it comes to me, in my personal opinion, I think how I define a good show is through its story. However, if it has a good story and not good characters, then I'm not going to be completely enthralled with the series. So for me to actually enjoy a series, I need a combination of having a good story and having good characters that I can relate to. If a series has a good story and not good characters, how are you going to relate and care for these characters and what happens within the story of those characters? Let's talk about comedy, for example. When it comes to comedy within a series, how much of us actually care about the overall plot? How much of us actually care about the premise? Not a whole lot of us. You know why? Because it is a comedy series. It is meant to be funny. The plot in general isn't meant to be taken that seriously. If anything, it is going to be the characters within that series that we are going to want to care about, because through the actions that the characters commit is what's going to make us laugh throughout the entirety of the series. And you know, if a series, a comedy series that has a decent level style of animation, you know, that makes it all for the better. Now, when it comes to art, on the other hand, art is subjective because people really do not know what fits their personal taste and opinions. You know, one person could say that they really like the art style in Berserk, for example, because of the amount of realism it has within the series, how detailed the artwork actually looks, while another person can completely shit on Berserk and basically say, hey, I don't really like Berserk's art style. For me, personally, I like Boku no Hero Academia's art style because of the quirkiness, you know? So people have a very vast amount of different opinions when it comes to art and their own personal taste. However, if a series does have good art and then, you know, has a good story, then, you know, that is all for the better. Now, let me give you another example right here when it comes to anime. Welcome to the NHK, one of my own personal favorite animes of all time. Welcome to the NHK story is very relatable for a lot of people because it talks about hikikomoris, you know, and it deals with dark subjects such as suicide and such. Now, this story in general is very relatable because it relates to a lot of people, and it was a well-executed story because of the fact that this was actually a story written by a real-life hikikomori, a socially withdrawn person. And to top it all off, the author ended up creating a character named Sato, and he implemented his own experiences when it comes to socially withdrawn people within Sato. He implemented his own experiences within Sato, and therefore Sato became a very relatable character. And there are also various other characters within the series that are very relatable as well. However, when it comes to the animation, and Welcome to the NHK, and this is coming from a long-time fan of the series, when it comes to Welcome to the NHK's style of animation, let's be honest here, it is not the best. The animation in Welcome to the NHK is decent at best. There will be several times within the animation, for example, in which, you know, the animation just drops entirely. You'll get stuff that looks like this, or either this. Yeah, it doesn't really look all that, you know, great when it comes to the animation, but welcome to the NHK's example in which I am, you know, giving out here right now is that while a series doesn't have the best animation, as long as it has an interesting plot, a story all around, and has relatable characters that you care about within a series, then this will end up being an anime that you are probably going to enjoy to the very end. So, what is more important? The story, the characters, or the art in a series? In my personal opinion, as I stated before in the beginning of this video, you at least need to have 3 essentials, and those are the stories, the characters, and the art when it comes to a series. And of these 3, you at least have to have 2. You have to have 2 combinations of the 3 essentials. And in my personal opinion, I'm the type of person that goes with the story and the characters. I really don't care much about the animation. I can pretty much just watch anything as long as a series has a good story and well-written characters that I can relate to. Then it is a series that I will be watching to the very end. However, you know, there are various other people with a range of different opinions other than myself. Maybe you watching this video, maybe you expect in your series to have high quality animation. You can't really look back on the old style of animation of other anime because maybe, I don't know, it's just too distasteful to your eyes or something like that. You just can't watch older anime, and maybe you just expect to have high quality animation within your video, within your anime, and as long as you have high quality animation and good characters, you are pretty much set to go as to how much you can enjoy a story. You don't really care much about the story in general because you're just not that type of person. You're not that analytical when it comes to a series. You just want to enjoy it for what it is. However, me, on the other hand, I'm the type of person who is analytical about my series and cares about the stories and the characters. So yeah, guys, that about does it for this video. Hopefully I shed some light on this subject when it comes to enjoyment out of a series. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you like me? Are you not like me? And maybe you like the animation more than the story. You know, I just want to hear your overall opinions on what you think about personally on, you know, what's more important in an anime. The characters, the story, or the art. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. I would greatly appreciate it, and if you want to stay up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.